Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Yes, we are back with our second upload of the day. We're going to be doing the Premier League prediction video now. I've never actually done one on my channel before. I've always done predictions off camera, but I've never done one on camera before. So I thought I might as well do it this year, get myself involved. And of course, at the end of the season, we'll come back and react to it and see how well I did. But yeah, by the way, the predictions I put in the thumbnail, I've legit put the teams there, by the way. So before anyone dislikes or disagrees or anything, make sure I listen to my opinions first and then feel free to disagree with me. But yeah, I'm going to make some bold statements in this video. I want to be a man that sort of like puts himself out there, make some very bold claims. But yeah, I fancy myself this season. I fancy myself to do it quite well. But of course, so guys, you're new to the channel, make sure I get down there, subscribe, smash like button, enjoy. And if you want to join my fantasy league, by the way, there's like 80 people in the minute. 6QN696 is the code. Feel free to get yourself in there, of course, join in. I'm not sure how to get involved with the channel, but I will try and get involved somehow. But make sure you get yourself joined in. And of course, the Premier League prediction video was a bit awkward this year due to the fact that the transfer window is like an open like a month into the season. So even though I put teams in certain positions in this, it could actually be subjected to change based on if they get good signs, for example. But yeah, of course, I'm going to be fair, do it before any games begin, so be as honest as possible. But of course, the guys, if you disagree with any opinions, feel free to put them down below. Just don't batter me, please. And even though I'm a Newcastle fan, by the way, I will be as non-biased as possible. I will be as fair as every single team. Even Newcastle, I will be fair with them. I will just tell her how it is. I'm not going to bullshit anyone, okay? But anyway, without further ado, the teams I think will get relegated. In 20th spot, Fulham. They've got some good players in Mitrovic, but they haven't bulked the squad at all. Of course, the last time they came to the Premier League, they came straight back down 19 to spend hundreds of millions of pounds. It didn't improve the most important part of the defence. The defence was still shocking, and it showed them. But they just haven't made the good signs, really. I mean, they stay in the Premier League this season, they make top signs. They just haven't done it all. Now, it's possible they could get Audio on loan from PSG, which would be a really good goalkeeper option. But even if they do that, I think they're knackered. I don't know if they finish 20th exactly, but I think they would definitely get relegated. But yeah, anyway, 19th, I know our team has just came up, West Brom. I think, again, we'll go back down again. It's not enough quality at the club. What I will say is, though, they signed that guy from West Ham, quality sign in mind, but still the West team's just not good enough. I mean, players like Robs and Carter I just aren't going to do it in the Premier League. But we'll say, though, fair enough for coming up. But yeah, the league's very tough this year, especially the bottom 10, by the way. It's tough to actually call it, but in terms of bottom 10, like even teams like Newcastle, for example, also would be like 5 really good signs. I mean, it's going to be very hard for the newly promoted teams to stay up this year. They don't obviously make massive signs, but West Ham, I think St. Albans going to go down. And speaking of West Ham, I think will go down 18th. Now I can empathise the West Ham fan, having shocking owners, Newcastle fan knows exactly what that's about. But West Ham's owners have been really bad, especially this season. But ever since West Ham moved to the Olympic Stadium, it just hasn't went well for them at all. But this season, I think they're knackered. I don't want them to go down. I haven't been to West Ham Stadium before. I would like to go there. It looks like an amazing stadium. But yeah, the owners are shocking. How they let that kid go to West Ham, I never know. I mean, you got players like Mark Noble literally saying the owners like it's a terrible decision. When you know the captain's against the club, you're in for some trouble. And I think it will send him down this season. There's sort of animosity between the club at the minute. But yeah, just like last season in 17th spot, Villa, I think would just stay up. Now, they could sign Ollie Watkins for £30 million. It would be a great signing for them. Of course, they got Douglas Luiz from City, who was a great sign last season, of course, on loan. They kept players like Jack Grealish and John McGinn, which have done really well to keep a hold of out of Houghton massively this season. And I think they'll stay up again. Only just, but I think they will stay up again in 16th spot. Brighton, to be fair to Brighton, done a really good job since came up with us. They've been here 3 seasons in the Premier League now. And despite sacking Houghton a couple of seasons ago, Potters came in and done a really good job. Of course, especially Brighton, they're really good against the top sides. Of course, they got 6 points against Arsenal last season. They're good at getting the points against the top teams. Especially at the Amex Stadium, they're really good at getting their results at home. And I think it will continue to show. 16th spot. Even without fans, I think Brighton will continue to do well at the Amex. But anyway, at the 15th now, Southampton, for the simple fact, Danny Ings is still at the club. Now, Danny Ings, of course, left Liverpool last season, and he's actually outscored every single Liverpool player in the league last season. Fair play. I mean, fair play, man. Of course, he's got himself in the England team as well. You can't fault that at all. Incredible by Danny Ings to do that, of course. It's just showing like the inspiration, really, to any single England striker out there listening. Callum Wilson, even Newcastle, Danny Ings can do that at 7. Go ahead and do that for Newcastle. Get yourself in the England squad. Like, that's just an inspiration, really. Of course, he's had a massive injury problems, and he's, of course, had a big failed career at Liverpool. But listen, the guy's turned it around. I'm glad to say it, and I think he will continue to do so. I think he'll get at least another 50 next season. But yeah, we'll see, really. Che Adams started to pick on a little bit of the form at the end, but we'll see how he goes. But anyway, into 14th, my club Newcastle, I think we'll finish 14th. Now, We finished 13th last season, but I actually put it further down. I put it down because Newcastle are really bad at rotating players. We've got a lot of injury-prone players. Of course, the Bradgast's already injured for the first month of the season, which is huge. One of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League, in my opinion. He's solid. He is really good. But Saint-Maximin, one of our best players, again, injury-prone. One injury needs to be out for a couple of months. Callum Wilson, Fraser, I mean, these signs coming in like Kent are injury-prone. It's a problem there. Steve Bruce is not good at rotating players. The players get knocked way too often. There's too many ACL injuries and there's too many ligament issues all the time. It's not good enough. But hopefully we not get many injuries, and if I don't get many injuries, I can see Newcastle being higher. But I don't see it happening. I think a lot of injuries are going to happen. For that reason, Newcastle won 14th. Now in 13th, Sheffield United. Sheffield United, of course, finished 9th last season. Had a really good chance of getting Europa League football, but they sort of slacked off near the end. They sort of overperformed. I'll be honest. That's probably the best way of putting it. Of course, they get really good wins, but this is our first season in the Premier League, sort of bounce the players get. I don't think it's going to happen this season. I think they'll still be quite decent, but I don't think they get anywhere near as many points as they did last season. But ever since lockdown, Sheffield United just sort of switched off a little bit. I would be a little bit disappointed for Sheffield United fan not getting the Europa League football, but listen, that happens. Of course, we went with 7 players and got it anyway because Arsenal, of course, got win the FA Cup. But listen, no, still really good for Sheffield United. Done well to stay up, and I think they'll definitely stay up again. Of course, Chris Wilder's done a fantastic job of them. He should be credited for it all the way. And players like Ollie McBurney and Musa have been really good. But anyway, Leeds 12th, of course, 15 years out of the Premier League. They are back in the Premier League. The one time they're back, the fans got to attend. That is just unlucky. But yeah, Leeds 12th place. I don't think the fans can complain about that at all. I think they'll stay up comfortably. Made some decent signings. Of course, Rodrigo coming in for like £30 million or something. I know he flopped with Valencia last season, but he had some really good years for them. So we see how he is in the Premier League. It's going to be a bit of a risk move, but I think it'll be a successful move for Leeds. And of course, the players players there at the minute, I think they'll do a decent job. Of course, Phillips is in the England squad. Fair play to him. I'm quite surprised he didn't, to be honest, because Jack Grealish, of course, when he came up from the Championship, Southgate said he needed Premier League experience to get into the squad, but Phillips sort of snuck his way into there. But listen, I'll not discredit the guy. He's got his way into there, so fair play to him. But Leeds, I think, will come to stay up in 12th. Now, this is a bit of a controversial one. Palace in 11th. Now, some people would generally put Palace in the bottom 3. For me, no. They haven't lost many players. Or Zaha staying, which is huge for them. I know he didn't score many goals last season, but he is like a Saint-Maximin for Newcastle. He is a player that gets the club spout up. He is a player that gets the team driving forward constantly. He is a constant threat in the pitch, and he is someone that creates chances and scores goals. They've done well. The back four is good. The goalkeeper is good. It's just what you need in these sort of like bottom half teams. And Palace, I think, will overperform. They're not overperform. That's probably a bit harsh. Actually, they will perform well this season, I will say. Palace, I think, 11th. Might be a little bit off in that one, but yeah, I'll be ambitious. I'm going to put them in 11th. But anyway, into the top 10 now is where it gets interesting. Everton in 10th. Now, you might think, well, I'll put Everton in 10th, despite the amazing signs they made. Because they just always seem to drop really stupid points. They do it every single season. Like, I use Newcastle as an example. For Everton, 94th minute, they batter Newcastle the full game of Goodison Park. I was there, I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my god, we're getting destroyed. They were 2-0 up to 94 minutes, and they still didn't win the game. Like, they drop stupid points like that all season long. It's incredible. Like, I don't know how to do it, but yeah, I mean, 2-0 up to the 94th minute, they literally drew 2-2. Like, it's just mad. They do points like this all the time. It's a problem at Everton. What we say is, though, Decoy adding Rodriguez, a completely new midfielder, amazing. I don't know how James Rodriguez doing in the Premier League. Of course, he had an amazing World Cup back in 2014, but it's a long time since then. Has he still got it? We shall wait and see. But yeah, an interesting one. I'm looking forward to see how he does in the Premier League. It is going to be one I want to be going to be watching every week, see how he gets on. But yeah, quite an interesting one. But Everton, I think the top 10, but I don't think they'll be pushing for Europe. I think they will drop silly points once again this season. But yeah, that's my opinion anyway. What I will say is with Charles and Dominic Calvert-Lewin are amazing attackers, by the way. And they need to get a new goalkeeper. Even though I'm a Newcastle fan, Pickford is generally terrible. Well, me, obviously, known as a former Sunderland fan. But listen, my opinion. But anyway, into the 9th place, Burnley. Sean Dyche, let me tell you, right, I can't stand playing against Burnley. It's because Sean Dyche lines that defence up so damn well. That back four and goalkeeper, it just links together so well. Even Phil Bardsley in the Premier League is a quality right back. The team does its job defensively, and that's what's important in that squad. They pick up results because they defend their arses off. The likes of Chris Wood up top, Vox, they got loads of them as Barnes, they pick up goals because their defence does a solid job of keeping goals out, and it's so huge for Burnley. I think it will continue to happen. I think Burnley will generally have a more good season because Sean Dyche knows what he's doing at the club. And even though the club, not really ever achieving much in its time, but seriously though, they're doing really bloody well in the Premier League considering the teams in it. But anyway, that's just my opinion anyway. Now we're on to the top 8. This is where it gets interesting. Number 8, Tottenham Hotspur. Now, the only reason I got Tottenham in 8th is essentially because Harry Kane is their only striker. If he gets injured, they've got no replacement striker. They've got to sort of play Son and Lucas out of position, and that's a problem because Kane is well known for getting injuries. He gets injuries every single season, and the fact that the club has not got a replacement striker is generally shocking. Like, it's really bad. But I mean, I don't get why they didn't go for anyone. Even Callum Wilson, like the player we signed, he would have been a good backup striker for Tottenham, but they didn't do it. But in terms of signings, they haven't really signed anyone. Doherty's a quality sign, I will say. But I got Holberg from Southampton, a really random one. But haven't done anything else. I mean, that's not good enough for a team like Tottenham. You got teams above them, like the likes of Arsenal, Man U, making signings. Van de Beek's coming in, Arsenal got new centre halves. I mean, Tottenham are not doing anything. If they want to be catching up their rivals, it's not going to happen at the minute. Even Mourinho in charge, I still think he's got it. But listen, he's got a very tough job with that team. I mean, there's some good players in there, but the teams he's dealing with now in that top 6 category especially, oh my God, he's got a job to do. But anyway, in 7th place, though, we've got Leicester. Leicester are quite solid. I think they'll finish just outside the Europa League spot this season. Of course, they end the Europa League after finishing 6th. What do I think they'll win it? I think they give it a good go. I think Wolves last season probably get the quarter/semis and go out to some decent team. I don't know who to go out to, but I think they will go out to someone half decent. But listen, Leicester, I think they give it a good go. But I will say though, Ben Rodgers is a good manager. I think he's done quite well appointing him at Leicester. And the team itself is still decent. Vardy is so underrated. I mean, the guy gets like 20 goals every season. No one ever talks about him. I mean, the guy's a really good striker. But yeah, the team will do alright. I think 7th place is quite fair for them. But anyway, into the top 6 is where it gets a little bit crazy. In 6th, I've got Arsenal. I think the Europa League for Arsenal would generally be a problem. You could say the same for Leicester, but to be fair, Leicester 7th is still reasonable. But Arsenal, in terms of getting into the top 4, 5th place spot, if you focus on the Europa League, that ain't gonna happen. Your best chance is to go for the Europa League and get the Champions League spot that way. But of course, they won the FA Cup. That's how they got the Europa League spot in the first place. Fair play to Mikel Arteta. He came and won a trophy straight away, which was huge for them. But yeah, of course, imagine keeping a hold of Aubameyang, players like that. Big, massive keeping a hold of Aubameyang is huge for the club. But still, the teams above them are very hard teams, and I think Arsenal getting in 6th spot would be somewhat reasonable. But you could see him pushing towards 5th or maybe the top 4 because Arteta will get a full season this time. With United and we just messing the full thing up. But yeah, I can say the club moving forward. It's just whether the owners want to continue investing or not. They are still a massive problem at the club, but yeah, not too bad. I think they will try in the Europa League. If they win the Europa League, huge for them, of course, to get that Champions League spot. But I don't think they get the Champions League in the league. That's what I will say. In 5th place, though, I think Man U was slightly underperformed this season. I don't think they get the top 4. I think they'll just drop out of it. In terms of the Champions League, though, they're not going to win it. Let's be honest, they're not going to win the Champions League. Ollie, listen, I don't think he's the man for it. I can't see Man U win any trophies at Ollie at the wheel. Maybe the Carabao Cup, but listen, Man U are this gigantic club. I mean, 10 years ago, they're winning Premier Leagues, the challenge of Champions League, doing everything. The Glazers have killed them. The Glazers have absolutely killed them. The club, is still, financially massive. It's still a huge worldwide club. They've got billions of supporters, but I mean, the club has got no chance of the Glazers. They will not win the Premier League with the Glazers, that club, anymore. They only spend when they need to. That's the problem. Now, you've got these teams in the Championship saying, listen, Man U have got great owners. They'll spend £30 million on Van de Beek. Listen, they only spend because they have to. It's the same, similar team at Arsenal. I mean, the owners only spend when they have to, and that's a problem. Just because they're not aren't suffering as much as our club, just mean they aren't shit owners at all. They are terrible owners. Let me tell you that straight. But yeah, just outside the top 4, I think we're just slightly underperformed this season. But yeah, anyway, guys, here it is. Time for the mad one, the absolute mental one. Wolves 4th. I'm actually going for it. Why do I think Wolves are going to finish 4th? For the simple fact they haven't got European football, they can just focus on the league. They've got a quality squad. They've got world-class players. I mean, Jimenez, Jota. I mean, they've got some seriously good players. Nuno has done wonders at that club. That club is going to continue going forward. It's got a direction. It's got good owners. It knows where it's going. And I think they're going to do it this season. I genuinely think they will break the top 4. They'll just get in by a couple of points, but I think they will do it. And I think it'll be an absolutely incredible moment for the club. But yeah, that's my opinion. I hope it happens. It'll be an absolute scenes. But yeah, I think they're going to do it. I think they will generally get top 4. But yeah, into the top 3 now. Get a bit more predictable now. In 3rd, Chelsea. Let me tell you, they had an amazing transfer window. But for me, still don't even get close to Liverpool, Man City. The teams are just too good. Chelsea this season rely a lot on whether players can actually perform in the Premier League. Of course, they're signing world-class players, but can they do it in the Premier League? For me, Havertz, yes. Werner, yes. Ziyech, yes. But for the likes of Thiago Silva, Sarr, I mean, Chilwell, of course, Chilwell obviously being the Leicester, but for the likes of Thiago Silva and Sarr, do it in the Premier League. Maybe. Thiago Silva's come to the end of his career, but still the guy has still played a Champions League semi-final last season, so who knows? But I think they'll just finish out just because of the fact that the top two teams are so good. But anyway, though, which one's going to win the league and which one's going to come in second? For me, City will win the league. Liverpool in second place. Now, I don't think Liverpool will win the league back to back. It's going to sound crazy, but their owners are generally terrible. They've not made any investment. I mean, come on, man. I mean, they're signing a backup left back. That's about it. I mean, of course, they dropped the ball on Joao Lewis. They didn't want to get him in. They got Tomish instead. But listen, they're not making many signs at all. I mean, like, come on. I mean, what's even going on? They're trying to get rid of Bruce style. Apparently, rumours are saying, like, I mean, what the hell are they doing? But seriously, the owners are just lacking. They're going in for anyone. I mean, I know they won the league, but come on. I mean, Jurgen Klopp needs some signings. I mean, the guys want to go try and win trebles, but the thing is, the reason why I prefer City over Liverpool is the fact that City generally go for every trophy. Admittedly, last season, no, they didn't do as Liverpool. They only won the Carabao Cup, they didn't win the Premier League. But listen, they generally try and go out for every single trophy. Whereas Liverpool, they fight the few crap teams in the FA Cup. They sort of dropped the ball. I mean, of course, obviously in the Carabao Cup, they've got no choice of the World Cup on. But seriously, I mean, like, I don't get Jonas. It's so questionable. Like, I don't understand him. It's really weird, but. Yeah, but in terms of City, I think they win the league. I think Guardiola would do it this year. The City players, of course, didn't do that well last season, of course, of miles behind Liverpool. But this year, I think they'll do a lot better. I think they'll have their heads down. I think they stay focused. I think they get the job done. But of course, one of the huge issues with the fact that they wouldn't win the league last season due to Laporte getting injured. Players like John Stones and bloody, what's the outcome there? Otamendi coming in, just wrecked the defence. But Laporte can stay fit, of course, if you can get a new centre half. Rumours are getting Koulibaly, it'd be huge to get that done. But yeah, for me, they're going to win the league. But anyway, guys, that's my predictions done. Let me know your opinions in the comments. Did I do it right? Have I made some bad calls? But let me know down below. Of course, I'll do a reaction video in the season, see how right or how wrong I was. But thank you all for watching, guys. And yes, I'll see you on the next one.